What's up, everyone? Champet's back again for another UFC predictions video. This time for Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodrigues, RoboCop. This is a great fight night. I'm very excited. A lot of dogs I like in this card, which is kind of crazy because I'm not really the kind of guy who likes dogs like this. So, second week in a row of that. But as always, let's get into the results of last week. Pull up the results. And ended up going all right. Some pretty not good bets, but some pretty good bets. So let's just go through them in order. Ancho Jubilee versus Salkild. I bad stoppage, but like that was, I mean, you can't be getting dropped like that right away. But the stoppage was bad, to be fair. I think he would have fought out of that, but I'm not. Dude, what he would have won? I don't know. But I was willing to take a shot on it because I don't think he's that bad. But I mean, Salkild did cover his price tag, but referee stepped in a little too much soon. But I mean, what do you want me to say? I took a little shot. I didn't put much on him at all. Next fight I had to bet on was Kevin Jose. I can't believe he lost this fight, like how he did. He lost a kickboxing fight. I knew it was going to be a kickboxing fight. It's like, I don't think Mikhailov's going to be able to get his body locks and grapple him. And he didn't. He wasn't able to. Like, be kind. Like, Mikhailov has Paddy Pimblett striking. And I don't mean that, like, in a bad way, because Paddy Pimblett has good kicks. But the hands are just, oh my goodness, they're so bad. But the kicks are good. They're not that bad, actually. This is the best part of the game. And it's similar with Mikhailov. The hands are not anything great. They're very slow. Kicks, pretty all right. And he was landing that body kick non-stop, and there was like no adjustments from Jose. I couldn't believe it, especially after getting dropped in round one. I was like, it was such a hard fight for him to come back in. He just kept getting hit. He's so hittable, and that's always been the thing with Jose. But I thought he still wouldn't have a problem with it. So this was a sucky loss. If I didn't have this bet like in, I would have had like a way better night. But alas, it is what it is. And I had a lot of belief in Jose. I don't think Jose's bad still, but like this is pretty bad performance. Like there's no excuses. You really should have beaten this guy. So yeah, that just, I don't know what else I can really say about it. Rongju versus Cody Steele. I was on Rongju. Great work by Rongju. Look great. I was thinking you'd chin check Cody Steele. Cody Steele's chin, so good. Gotta give respect to them. And I love Cody Steele's chances as a prospect in the future. But the now is now. He's got a lot of time in the future to get better. And I think this loss is going to make him a lot better as well. Rongju moved to CKB. It looked great. Threw a little more like loopy stuff than I would have ever liked. But hey, it worked out. He did a great job this fight. Made me very, very proud. So shout out to him. The next fight I had to bet on was Kong Wang. Yeah, or Wong Tong, as they pronounce it in the commentary, against Bruno Brazil. I was super confident in Kong Wang to win this fight. Yeah, it booked about how I thought. Bruno Brazil had nothing. I think the weight class difference was huge in this one. I don't really know what Bruno Brazil was even going to have a chance to do. She didn't even try grappling, really, which is like, to me, was her only path to victory until like round 3, which she shot one horrible takedown and didn't get anywhere near it. And she got out grappled even by Kong Wang. Got taken down, like, I think twice, at least one time at the end of round 3, but maybe even like round 1. It was like, but there was like a split second at the end of the round. Yeah, Kong Wang, I think she's a top 15 level flyweight. And she looked good. I mean, what else do you want me to say? Like, great job. Had a lot of money on her. Made me very proud. Next fight I had to bet on, I believe, was Jack Jenkins over Gabriel Santos. This one hurts me. I love Jack Jenkins. He was looking great. Big head kick round 1. The ref in the Jubilee fight, it was there. It's a stoppage, but no. It's good. The ref didn't stop it, of course. But Santos able to get his wrestling in order. I'm really sad that Jenkins got finished in like round 3. Got hit with a good front kick, and he was definitely not the same after that. And then I think he was trying to recover still, but got the choke. That was end of the days for Jenkins. And I had the spread, and I think because of the knockdown, I would have got that. But alas, he got finished. It is what it is. But I did hear about like Jenkins having like tough times after the fight in the hospital. I think I did hear that he's better now, so that's good to hear. But yeah, man, I love me some Jack Jenkins. I think he is really good. But then, man, shout out to Santos. He is himself a really good prospect. I think top 15 soon, if not the next fight after that one. I think he's probably going to be deserving pretty soon. He's been putting in the work. He's been getting good wins. I think Yishad's a good win. Jack Jenkins is a good win. I like that a lot. So good for Gabriel Santos. Huge in there, by the way. Like, just his stature. But then again, Jenkins is not the biggest featherweight, to be fair. But besides the point. Next one I had a bet on was Jimmy Crute. This hurts my soul. I would have been nice to get that bet, but it was a draw. I honestly gave the first two to Crute. I think 10-8 round 1 is fair, or like rounds 1 and 2 Crute I think is fair too. I get rounds 2 and 3 Bellato. I get it. Round 2 was close. I do think, again, like the thing I said before, it seems like not cardio, but like body language is deciding rounds, I think, rather than like the shots. Like, I think Crute showed bad body language in round 2. Didn't get the round because of it. I think I'm like seriously like starting to buy this theory a lot more like now. Like, we've had example week after week, Umar versus Merab. I'm not even saying these are like bad decisions or anything like that, but just a trend that seems to be like coming in. Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. I think you can argue, like, even while some of these guys are tired, you can argue they might have won a round. Argue. And again, with Crute Bellato, I'm happy I was on the Crute side, of course, because Crute was the right side to be on. I didn't think Bellato wasn't. He's not all that, and is still the case. It's both super hittable. But yeah, shout out to Crute for putting up a good fight, but wasn't able to get the job done. But at least I didn't lose anything. I can't be that mad in that sense. Anyways, Dricus Du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. I was on Dricus Du Plessis. I like them a lot there to win this fight. Easy. And the reason why I really like Dricus to win this fight was because I knew going in, one guy's going to change how he fights. Other guy's going to do the same exact thing. And the adjustments that Dricus Du Plessis made the fight a lot easier. Easy win. Good win for Dricus Du Plessis. Yeah, I like that. That was a great performance. I mean, shout out to Strickland for not getting I thought he was gonna get finished once his nose broke. It's like, oh, he's done. He's gonna be done. He stayed in there, so respect to that. Would have been nicer if he got finished for my betting wise, but I digress. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Well, I mean, it does, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I guess it means probably Hamzat next for Dricus, and what's next for Strickland? I'm hoping Imavov, for my sake, because I think Imavov is going to smoke Strickland in a rematch, and I'm not sure how the odds would be. I mean, probably Imavov would be the favorite, but I hope they would be close, and I would smash Imavov in that fight. Like, bet it would be all day, because he would smoke Strickland in a rematch. He 100% would, because the circumstances are a lot different now coming into that one. But yeah, I think that's about it for that. Let's go over the actual card. Let me find it. My Tapology. Sorry about this. I thought I had this pull up, but I did not. I did horrible picking wise. Maybe not horrible, but I didn't do good. I did not do good. So considering that, I got 5 out of 12. Considering that's how bad I did. Pretty good. I got profit at the end of the day. Talking about that. This one, Alexandre Topuria versus Colby Thickness. I ended up going with Colby because I thought he could like grind out Alexandre in the last few rounds because of cardio. Kind of, sort of what was going on. Round 1, drop Colby. I wasn't shocked. I thought Alexandre's winning round 1 was super live to happen. But if it did go a little longer, I like Colby, and I think I was like, it might be a nice live bet spot at a much nicer number, which it was. I put a little bit of a live bet, but because of the knockdown, how it was like, I'm not going to go that crazy. Didn't work out. I did think Colby won round 2, to be fair. Didn't feel like Alexandre was doing that much. And I liked that Colby was trying to wrestle a bunch in round 3 with Alexandre. But Alexandre did a good job of keeping control. Not really doing damage. I do think there's problems with this guy's cardio. I don't think either of these guys are UFC level, if I'm honest. I still kind of hold on to that. Even though you can definitely tell Alexandre got some very good boxing. But the cardio, I don't think is there. And I think in the division of killers at bantamweight, I don't know. It's going to be tough. But yeah, good win from Topuria. Did what he had to do. Tom Nolan versus Vyacheslav Borsev. I went with Borsev, but I said in my breakdown, like, this to me is a trap fight. I said this like whole card was like a bunch of trap fights. I mean, Jose fight was definitely a trap that I fell into. But I know definitely a lot of people who fell into this one. Man, Tom Nolan, good job. This is the best he's ever looked. I knew he would definitely wrestle, like, going into that breakdown. I don't know why people were not considering that he could do that. He's done it before, especially on the regional scene more so than the UFC. And it's like, against a striker like Slava, he'd be dumb not to wrestle. And he did wrestle, so he's had some fight IQ in there. Yeah, good win by Tom Nolan. He looked pretty good on the feet, considering. I think a lot of that has to do with the size and the takedown threat. But yeah, I think Slava's getting up there in years, and not exactly the same guy he was, but still, I do think he's pretty all right. But yeah, great win in front of the Australians, Tom Nolan. Talked about this one. Jake Matthews, Francisco Prado. I ended up going with Matthews. I thought he'd try and wrestle more. He didn't. I should have known. I mean, Prado tried and wrestle, but really didn't have much success with it. It was just basically a boxing match on the day because Prado's wrestling wasn't working, and Jake Matthews was the better boxer. Looked much bigger. I'm not crazy about Prado at 170, especially after that fight, because, like, again, he looked outsized. And man, good performance from Matthews. Did his thing, touched Prado up a bunch. Prado's got a good chin. Keep fighting till the end, but that was that. Going from Matthews. Talked about that one. Talson Teixeira Justin Tafa. I said going into this one is like, I don't want to trust either of these guys, but I guess I'm going to go Tafa because Australia, and I think how Teixeira leaves his chin open, I think he can find the shot. He didn't really get the chance because I also said in my breakdown, if Teixeira tries to grapple, he's going to make this a lot easier for himself, and he probably would win. I went in thinking he wouldn't grapple. He did sort of grapple. He tried to get a takedown, but he didn't really get a takedown. But in the clinch, big knee, big elbow. I think he might have broke Tafa's nose. Down goes Tafa. Yeah, I mean, that was all she wrote. Good one by Teixeira. I think if he does, like, implement his, like, wrestling and, like, ground game, I think he's definitely, like, top 15. He's gonna be in that combo for sure. But it really does depend. Like, he has to use that. But yeah, good win by Teixeira. Good win on his UFC debut. Yeah, Justin Tafa didn't really have much of a chance to even really do anything. But yeah, I'm so mad I forgot to put this bet in. But I did live bet it. I did live bet it up at a nice number, which was awesome. Can't track live bets on BetMate. That tips, which is fair. But I did say, like, after Tatiana Suarez gets a takedown, you should live bet Zhang Weili, and that's what I did. Worked out very well. Yeah, a lot of the questions I had for Tatiana Suarez were very valid, and I got the answers. I was wondering, is Tatiana Suarez's cardio gonna be good enough for 5 rounds? No, it wasn't. It just wasn't. Was she, like, what is she coming in injured? She's been injured so many times. I mean, I'm not necessarily sure, but I'm assuming probably so because of the cut on her knee. not good. And what was the other question? I had like 3 questions. Oh my god, I'm forgetting. But I digress. Like Zhang Wei Li. Oh, I think it was a stand-up. It was a stand-up, but it's like I don't know how she's gonna compete with Zhang Wei Li in the stand-up to even get the takedowns. Which again, she didn't really have much for Zhang Wei Li. Zhang Wei Li, incredible performance. She's still getting better, and definitely seen improvements in the wrestling game. Love seeing that, and she just pretty much out wrestled the best wrestler in like perhaps women's MMA history. At strawweight, especially. Great job. That's impressive as hell. You can absolutely call her strawweight GOAT. Her, Joanna, Rose. It's one of those 3. She's like 100%. Like you have to include her name in the convo now. In terms of going up and fighting at 125, come on. You cannot pass up Manon Fiorot. You cannot do that. She has to fight for the title first before Zhang Wei Li can even think about going up to 125. It's not fair. Let her fight Verna versus Yan Jianun winner. I know she just beat Yan, so maybe she doesn't even need to fight Yan. But especially if Verna wins, she's going to be very deserving of a title shot. We know probably Zhang Wei Li would mess her up, but still, you got to give respect to the deserving contenders. But Manon Fiorot has been number 1 contender since UFC 280. It's about time she gets her title shot against Valentina Shevchenko. To me, it's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's got to be Manon Fiorot. And that's my most hyped fight in MMA, let alone women's MMA. Do not do that to me. Do not do that to me. I need to see Valentina versus Manon. Because I think that's a 50-50 fight. I'm super excited for it. That's what I need. I don't need no Zhang Wei Li coming in and messing everything up. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. We're talking about the main event. So, yeah, let's get into this next card. This weekend. Julia Avila versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I'm going Cavalcanti decision. It's boring, but that's probably what happens. Avila striking, not so good. It's not great. Cavalcanti should probably do her thing on the feet. But I will say this about Cavalcanti. I'm not so crazy about her. I do think she's really good. I do think she's got a lot of talent. She has this bad tendency of just backing up a bunch. And I think that's going to cost her, like, sooner rather than later, if I'm honest. Maybe even Avila can be the one to do it, to be honest. Because maybe she can have some wrestling success. I don't really think so, especially at her older age. Like, that Miesha Tate fight was rough. To be fair, first fight since the pregnancy. So, like, maybe you can give a little bit of an excuse. But, yeah, I mean, I do think Cavalcanti just probably going to be the more physical girl. This is a step up in competition, I would say. Maybe Nora Cornole maybe Nora might be better, but I'm gonna give some respect to the Raging Panda. I love me some Julia Avila, OG of the game. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, beating Kipanian like she did, I think is pretty impressive. But again, so long ago. So yeah, and again, Jacqueline Cavalcanti is getting these close split decisions. Even though I think they're clear, but there's 29-28. So I don't even hate the idea of like a Julia Avila spread, if I'm honest. I don't hate that idea. So that might not be a bad play. And like, if there's anything I'd play, it'd be that at these odds plus money on that. I don't think that's like a horrible bet, but I'm not going to be the one doing it. So yeah, give me Jacqueline Cavalcanti. Yeah. Next fight of the card. Oh my God. Walter Walker versus Dontel Mays. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm going Dontel Mays to win this fight. Call me crazy. I probably am. I got a lot, like, probably crazy underdogs on this card, but man, I think Walter is horrible. I think he's horrible still. Getting a heel hook on Junior Tafa does not tell me anything. I don't think that's crazy. I know. I'm talking about. I'm picking Dontel Mace, that guy who got heel hooked by Cyril Gane, but I mean, it's been a while since that. I guess. I get the logic everyone going with in this fight. Walter Walker he's gonna get takedowns, and Dontel Mace is not good enough to do get ups, and like that's how the fight's gonna be decided. But Walter Walker's cardio is just not all that. And I know people are saying like, oh, maybe his cardio is better because he's in better shape. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know. I'm not truly buying it. Dontel Mace doesn't look good on the scales. I will say that. So I'm not crazy about it. I do think there's going to be enough value there for me to bet it, but it's like I'm not going to put much on it. I'm do not probably put much on either of these guys in this fight. In my eyes, I think that's the best decision to do. It'd be smarter not to. But on the feet, I think it's Mace all day. Walter's so hittable, and I think like the significant strikes are going to be coming from Dontel Mace. And honestly, that might even influence a decision. You're gonna. I mean, I know if you're betting Dontel Mace, you're probably gonna sweat because he does stupid stuff all the time, like random spinning stuff. When oh my god, please don't do that this time. Please don't do that this time. I know. In his last fight, he didn't have much. Like, he didn't do much get ups. To be fair, it's against Gaziv. I think Gaziv's I was not being so kind to Gaziv's like wrestling when he's fighting Thomas Peterson. But that's Thomas Peterson, and this is Walter Walker. I think this is a completely different animal. I'm not as like confident as I was in like Bresky to beat Walter Walker, because I know Bresky's his get-ups are pretty alright. Dontel Mace, I'm not as confident in it. But I do think he could actually maybe get up against Walter Walker. I do think he could land the better shots. And I think there's actually like a very real possibility where the bigger shots he lands, even if he does get taken down and controlled, and Walter doesn't really do much damage on top, he wins rounds still. So I'll take Dontel Mace. I'm willing to do it. He's not good, but I mean, neither is Walter Walker. I'm willing to do it. Give me Dontel Mace. Next fight up the card, Vince Morales versus Elijah Smith. I'm super excited for this one. I got the underdog. I got Vince Morales. And this is not me saying, oh, Elijah Smith is a fraud. Not at all. I think this guy's a really real prospect. But similar to Cody Steele this last week, these prospects do not always win. And it could be still a great prospect and you can lose. It's nothing wrong with that. I do think Smith is really, really good. He's definitely liable to win this fight. But man, Vince Morales, I don't think he's bad at all. And I think he's been giving good showings, especially in the regional scene. And Elijah Smith, I think, is very green. I think he's super green. Kind of fits the bill of some of these regional guys. I'm not gonna lie. On short notice against Taylor Lapilus, Vince Morales is able to get takedowns against Taylor Lapilus. That's super impressive. Elijah Smith's cardio, not the best thing ever. Not the best. I think as this fight goes on, I like Vince Morales to take over. I think he can get his grappling going. I think he can keep the striking going with Elijah Smith. I think he can give him a vet's lesson. I think I like him to win. I got him early at plus 200. At this point, I wouldn't bet Vince Morales, but I would say look live. Probably live bet is the way to go, because I think there's a possibility he drops round 1, but rounds 2 and on, I think he can absolutely win and maybe even get a finish in late round 3. I think that's a very real possibility. So yeah, give me Vince Morales to win. Gabriel Bonfim versus Chaos Williams. Give me Chaos Williams by KO round 1. Although I will say this, I will not actually be shocked if Chaos Williams wins a decision. I'll say that. I'm not crazy about Bonfim. I think he's all right. I think this is the better Bonfim brother. I know a lot of people are like, oh, Ismail. I don't think so. I think Gabriel is the better one of the two. I think he's at the higher ceiling at his weight class, especially. But man, I think Chaos wins this. I love that Chaos Williams is in that camp with Joaquin Buckley. training with those guys, getting better and better. I got belief in that camp at this point, honestly, because they're doing really good. I have belief in his like abilities. I mean, he's got God's will with that right hand. Like those hands, they crack, and he can absolutely put Bonfim out. Bonfim's boxing's all right. Not all right. It's good. It's good. But I just like, you can't be doing the things you do with Chaos Williams because he's a little too hittable. He's a little too hittable. I was willing to take a chance against against Bonfim against Lusa. Lusa didn't really do much. He didn't really do much, and he was having some success, which is kind of surprising to be honest. But I don't think Chaos is like a bad fighter by any means. I think it's actually pretty good. I mean, low key could have won that Randy Brown fight. I know low key could have lost that Ronald, but the Bedoya fights can't speak. I get that, but like I don't think it's like the worst look, and I think with how Bonfim throws, man, and Chaos Williams' chin is incredible. It's great chin, and he's a very, very physical guy, and I think it's going to be a really tough time for Bonfim to get this fight on the ground if he so desires to. I'm not crazy about Bonfim's willingness to pull guillotines. I'm not crazy about that. I think Chaos can absolutely find the kill switch and put out Bonfim. Give me Chaos Williams. I like him here. I think he's going to win. Already bet him. Ready to go. I like him as a moneyline bet. And because I honestly do think I mean, if you want to get better odds, I mean, I bet you these odds are nasty, but I'm actually curious. Chaos Williams by KO or decision. Because I do think those are very live outcomes, but sub, not so much. But at the same time, there might just not be that much of a difference. TKO decision plus 185. That's not much of a difference in this money line. So just take the money line. But yeah, I like Chaos to win this fight. I feel like Estevam versus Jesus Aguilar. Give me Estevam to win a decision. I think Aguilar can hang in there and not die. I know he's got a sick guillotine, got an overhand, some nice leg kicks, but that's kind of about it. I think Estevam's going to big brother him on the ground. He's a big size advantage. Rounds 1 and 2 can be pretty devastating. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a sub, but I think Estevam going to be able to stay on top of Jesus Aguilar, keep himself safe, and win a decision. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I think Jesus Aguilar is pretty live to get a sub, like a guillotine sub anytime, I feel like. But I think Estevan's a little too good on the ground for that to happen. So, yes, give me Rafael Estevam. Next, I have the card. Angela Hill versus Katlyn Sosa. I am excited about talking about this one. Give me Angela Hill by I'll give me submission round 3. I'm willing to do it. This Sosa girl is not that great. She's not good. I'm being straight honest with you. I had a lot of money on Hargui. Like I was willing to eat that much chalk because I don't think this girl is that good, and she isn't. I know she knocked down Hargui bad. Like I was willing to trust Hargui's chin that much to fade this girl, and I still have vindication from it because I know this girl ain't it. She's not it. So I'm back at the well. I'm trying to get my money back. Angela Hill, baby. I feel I don't like comparing people like this, like doing this, like, oh, this is just this, you know. But I'm gonna do it here. Katlyn Sosa is a worse Denise Gomes. Where is she better? I don't think she's any sort of better. I don't think she cracks as hard. I don't think she hits as hard. I don't think her jiu-jitsu's as good. Maybe head movement. Maybe head movement she's better. I think you can maybe give her that. I think she's a worse Denise Gomes. Her wrestling is not good. Her cardio is not good. If Angela Hill wins these early rounds, oh man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap because it's not going to be getting better for Katlyn Sosa, and I think the grappling edge is huge here, and I'm really hoping Angela Hill likes to wrestle here and grapple here because I think she can absolutely just do what she wants on the ground with Ketlin Souza. Don't even worry about them hands on the feet. Just let's get them that wrestling going. But even on the feet, I think she can do similar things that Yasmin did. I don't think she's as good as Yasmin on the feet, but she's probably going to mind her P's and Q's a little better than Yasmin. Yasmin doesn't have a great chin, but along with that, not a great chin, she doesn't have great defense because of how she fights. She needs to change the way her style fights because that's getting her chin hit. Angela, super durable, and I think that's going to stay the same. I think this line is an overreaction to one big moment against a girl who I think a lot of people deem as chinny, getting dropped by Ketlin Souza, Denise Gomes, and Estela Nunes. Just, I don't think there's too much to be made of that. This is a huge step down in competition from the Tabitha Ricci fight. Unlike against Tabitha Ricci, Angela does not got to worry about takedowns. This only one who's going to be looking for takedowns in this fight is probably Angela Hill. Angela Hill's going to have the huge volume advantage here. I know it's going to be a moments versus minutes fight. But again, if Angela Hill gets takedowns, and if she does that approach, man, Souza's in big trouble. I think she can sub her. Ketlin Souza's losses are usually by finish. It's usually by submission. I think Angela Hill can absolutely do that. I think she can drown her late. I love her here. This is my favorite bet of the card, probably. Yeah, I think it is. I know a lot of people like, oh, the age is a problem. I think Angela Hill's is one of the living pillars of women's MMA. Age doesn't matter. She's been doing it for so good for so long. Like, I don't think that's gonna be much of a big deal. Like her, Holly Holm, and Jermaine Durand, I think are like the biggest examples of it. And again, like they'll lose, but they'll lose to really good competition. Ketlin Souza is not that. She's not that. So I love Angela Hill here. I love what I've heard her say this week, where she's like, I've working on my optics. How did it take so long to do that? Crazy. But it's a good thing she finally did that. And I think that's a great sign for her. And she did talk about, like, I'm going to be her everywhere. I think I'm better everywhere. I love hearing that because, again, wrestling, I think there's a huge holes for Ketlin Souza. I don't think her jiu-jitsu is that great. I don't think her wrestling's great. I think getting taken down by Marnik Man, red flag. It's a red flag. I think that was because of her cardio, not as great wrestling, not as great jiu-jitsu. So, yeah, I love Angela Hill here. Next, I have the card: Josie Delgado versus Connor Matthews. I like Delgado by finish. Connor Matthews is a tough guy, and whenever you start a breakdown and saying, "Oh, this guy's tough," it's a nice gesture, but it means you get hit a lot. It means you can take a lot of damage, but I think Delgado's going to be too much for Connor Matthews, and I think he's going to end up drowning him with like a bunch of volume. I do worry because Delgado does get hit. He does get hit. He can get cracked, but very good chin. Although he hasn't gone drop before. I realize that. But I don't think Connor Matthews is the guy to do it. I don't think any skill set he has is really that good, if I'm being quite honest. And I think Delgado's kind of got him covered. And I think he's going to find a finish. So, yeah, give me Josie Delgado. And I got a bunny on him. So, yeah. Rodolfo Vieira versus Andre Petroska. I'm crazy. I know I am. But give me Petroski. I'm also being a little crazy in my breakdown because I know a lot of people will be like, oh, he thinks Champets probably thinks he thinks Petroski wins a striking decision. No. I don't want him to strike. I don't think Petroski's striking is that good. Maybe he can compete a little bit because he can land hard, but I think Rodolfo's probably the better striker. I think Petroski can out wrestle him. I do think he can have success in the wrestling. Rodolfo is a top player, jiu-jitsu. He's a top player. And I think if Petroski minds his P's and Q's and makes an emphasis to be on top and hold position, find ways to do damage without losing position, I think he's in a great spot to win this fight. But I know it's a little yikes with Rodolfo. I am worried about Petrosky's chin. I totally am. I am. But I will say this. I know like a lot of people are going into Petrosky's resume and it's like, oh, it's not that good. I don't necessarily disagree. But like Rodolfo's resume has not been that great either. I'd say the best one between these two is Arman Petrosyan. But like Petrosyan, it's a binary matchup. He's a stand-up guy versus a ground game guy. If the ground game guy gets him down, it's nothing crazy to be like, yeah, he subbed him. No duh. Cody Brundage, cool. Chris Curtis, that's not a bad loss. Don't get me wrong. I know Fluffy's not a bad loss either. Dustin Stoltzfus. Yeah, what am I supposed to say about that? Like, I'm not crazy about it. I know you can say similar things about Petrosky, Budka, awful. Friend, awful. Malkoon, he was winning this fight, to be fair, which I think does say a lot. And I think does, like, give Petrosky a lot of a case because, I mean, he was looking good that fight. And then he just gets hit by a hip and then falls down. And it's like, oh, my God, that was horrible. But I think it's kind of a 1 in a million kind of thing. I don't put too much into that. Michel, he does have crazy power at 185. And that was short notice, to be fair. And GM3, low-key maybe could have lost that fight, but it was close. GM3 is still good. But yeah, I'm going Petrosky. I think he can wrestle and get a decision. I think I saw a line on like DraftKings that's like over 0.5 takedowns with Petrosky at plus money. I think that's a good look, to be honest. I actually really do. Because I did see an interview saying, with Petrosky saying, I'm going to sub Rodolfo. Yeah, I don't know about that, but that to me tells me he's gonna go for takedown. I like that in terms of like a betting angle. So yeah, give me Petrosky. Ismail Bonfim versus Nazim Sadikov. I'm going Sadikov. I think he can find a finish. Bonfim's gonna be the better, probably minute winner. I know Sadikov gets hit a lot. Like I totally get that, but I do like that he throws straight. And Bonfim, Ismail throws a lot of hooks. See, this guy loves some hooks. And I think Nazim can absolutely crack him. I really do. I know Bonfim's pretty durable usually, but Sadikov can hit pretty hard. He dropped Borshev multiple times, and it was closest guy to finishing him. I think that says a lot about Sadikov's power. Sadikov's been out for a while, but he's been trying to be active. I think he's going to make a lot of improvements in that time off. I like me some Sadikov. I think he is somewhat the goods. I do think he's pretty. I'm basically repeating myself. I think he's good everywhere. I think he can have some wrestling success here. I think he can have some striking success here. I think he can chin Bonfim. I think he can drop him, then land some big ground and pound to finish the fight. I like the team he's at Sierra Longo. I think they're gonna get him prepared to get a win. And I'm not even sure. He might actually be at Syndicate though, which. I mean, that gym's been doing pretty good too, but I'm not crazy about that. Yeah, I like Sadikov. I think he's gonna find a way to win here. I think in his long-awaited return, comes back and gets a win. Edmund Shabazian versus Dylan Budka. What are we doing here? Edmund KO. Budka is awful. He's been dead to me since that Cesar Almeida fight, and every Cesar Almeida fight after has told me, yeah, he is dead to me. he could probably practically not really wrestle Cesar Almeida while these other guys are. Like, and Roman Kopylov, Ihor Potieria, and Abdulrazak Al-Hassan. But, like, what are we doing, man? Budka is so bad. And he's looked worse and worse in his other fights. Like, against... Cesar was horrible. Petrosky, tragic. It was one of the most tragic performances I've ever seen. Edmund should... If he doesn't finish him... May not finish him. If he doesn't win... I genuinely maybe retire. I really don't think it happens though, so I'm not trying to be mean. I love Edmund. If you know my history, Edmund Shabazian, my first ever bet, and while doing champ bets, because like I had $100 on the account. It's like and I had a deal where it's like, oh, you put $100 in, and then you'll get that money back if you lose. I put the $100 on Edmund Shabazian. It worked out. He beat AJ Dobson. But yeah. I don't really know what Budka offers. I know people are like, oh, Budka's going to be... Or not Budka. Edmund's going to wilt. He's going to die. No, man. But this dude Budka is so bad. This is the UFC's way of trying to get him a win. I think I'm probably gonna end up betting a small amount. Maybe not small. I don't know. We'll see. On Edmund KO. I want to say 1-2, but to be fair, would I be shocked if Edmund finishes Budka in round 3? Would Budka wilt? I really would not be. Budka's that bad in my eyes. Yeah, give me Shabazi. Next fight of the card, Calvin Kattar versus Issa Zalal. I love Zalal here. I think he's gonna smoke a Kattar. I think Zalal is a top 10 guy already, if not maybe top 5. I love the developments I've seen. We've not necessarily seen a fighter he's had, he's fought in his recent extent back to where it's like, oh, is he the real deal? But I think you can tell from how he's fighting that he is. Calvin Kattar's leg is going to get battered in this fight. I love the striking defense of Zalal, and I think that's going to be a big factor of why he's going to win this fight. I think he can find some takedown. I'm not as confident in the takedowns because Zalal's not Aljamain Sterling, but still, he is sneaky with his submissions. Zalal, but does he get a finish? Probably not. But yeah, I honestly really do think Calvin Kattar's washed. I hate to say it, but I'm not impressed. I like that he moved gyms to TriStar for this camp. I really like that a lot. But I know a lot of people making this comparison, Rob Font moved to TriStar when he won against Kyler Phillips. It's not the same. Zalal's not Kyler Phillips. This guy has a gas tank. I was on Kyler Phillips that fight. That man let me down so hard. But Zalal has a gas tank. Zalal's a lot better. I think it's a clear on the way up, on the way down kind of fight. I think Zalal is going to cook him. Finish, probably not. But I'll tell you what, I really don't think Kattar finishes him. I really don't. And I'm willing to probably take a bet on that with Zalal finish only. Because I think if anyone gets a finish, I think it's Zalal. So yeah, give me Zalal to win. Next fight of the card, Cannonier versus Rodrigues. I like Cannonier, man. Another underdog I like in this card. There's a lot of questions about RoboCop in this coming fight. 5 rounds. How is he going to handle it? How is he going to fight? Is he going to fight how he usually does? If he doesn't, how does he fight? Going off the other 5 rounders he's fought in previous promotions, he fights the same way as he does. Cool. And the way he fights, he lacks defense. He lacks a lot of defense. He's super hittable. He's not winning any awards for defense. Another question: will he be able to get takedowns? He's been trying to go for takedowns in his recent fights. Is he going to try and go for takedowns? And if he does, will he have success? Cannonier has great takedown defense. Imavov got him down a little bit, but right back up goes Cannonier. Kyle Baralho didn't really even get any. He had to knock down Jared Cannonier to get him down. I don't think Rodrigues is going to be able to do it, if I'm genuinely honest. And the chin. The chin is another question about Gregory Rodrigues. He's been chinned by guys he really shouldn't be getting chinned by. Bruno Ferreira, Jordan Williams. That's it's not good. I think Jared Cannonier can absolutely crack him. I think he does. I think Cannonier is going to be better defensively and do really good. I am worried about maybe reaction time not being as good because of the older age. I get it. Jared Cannonier's chin is not as good as it used to be by any means, but he did crack Marvin Vettori. He did hit Kyle Baralho with some really good shots, and Nasruddin Imavov's got one of the best chins in MMA right now. This most underrated chin. So I think Cannonier is gonna do a really good job finding the shots on Gregory Rodrigues, if I'm honest. I think he's gonna find the shot. I think he can hurt RoboCop bad and get him out of there. I like not RoboCop. I like Cannonier over 5 rounds. I know he can absolutely pace himself and do well. Can RoboCop fight how he does and go long? I don't even know. I don't think so. With how he fights, no. I don't think so. Someone's gonna go down. I think it's gonna be RoboCop. Give me Cannonier. I think his strike's gonna be a little too crisp. I don't think he's lost to the very, very best. National Mavov, Kyle Barajo, really good competition. I don't even think that's like a bad look. RoboCop, I think it might be a little tough. I do think he's a top 15 level kind of guy, RoboCop, but I think the matchup makes me lean Cannonier. So give me Cannonier. I will tell you this: fight ends by KO. I think that's a good look because I wouldn't shock me if either guy wins by KO. Yeah. Those are my thoughts on the card. Let's go through them again, and I'll tell you my leans in terms of takedowns and strikes. More 6 strikes, probably Cavalcanti. More takedowns, I guess Avila, because that's going to be her only path to victory, but I wouldn't even be surprised if Cavalcanti gets more takedowns. But I would say Avila more takedowns. Walter Walker, Dontel Mays. I think Dontel Mays more 6 strikes is an okay look, but I'm not crazy about it. Walter Walker more takedowns. It's the only one going to be trying takedowns, I think. Smith, Morales. I'm not confident in either one in terms of like strikes and takedowns. Not sure. Bonfim versus Williams. It wouldn't shock me if Bonfim does land a little more, but then gets chinned, if I'm honest. So it wouldn't surprise me that happens. I guess more takedowns probably Bonfim, because I don't think Chaos is going to be going for any. But might be surprised. I'm not crazy about that. Estevan Aguilar. I think Estevan more takedowns is probably a good look. Probably more 6 strikes Estevan as well. Angela Hill, Kellen Souza. I think more takedowns is a great bet on Angela Hill. That's a great bet. And I think more 6 strikes is a really good bet as well on Angela Hill, because she's going to be the one landing a lot more volume. Delgado, Matthews. I think 6 strikes, Delgado. I lean takedowns, Delgado too. But I'm not as crazy about that one. But I do think he's going to volume Connor Matthews a lot. Petrosky, Vieira. I think Petrosky takedowns is a good look. The 6 strikes, I don't want anything to do with. I'm not sure. Nazim Sadikov, Ismail Bonfim. Bonfim is probably going to have the 6 strikes, to be honest, just because he's more of a minute winner. But wouldn't shock me if Sadikov gets that, but I would probably lean Bonfim. More takedowns, I'm not as confident. I'd go Sadikov, but I'm more a little shaky about that. Shabazian, more significant strikes. More significant strikes all day. We really should get that. More takedowns. I guess Budka, because he's probably going to be the only one going for it. That's what I would lean. Zalal, Cater. I think Zalal, more significant strikes, because I think the defense is going to be on point, and I think he's going to be landing a lot of volume. That's just how Zalal fights. And more takedowns, Zalal. I think he's going to be the one going for takedowns. I don't think Cater's going to be going for takedowns. And in the main event, Cannonier, RoboCop. I think Cannonier 6 strikes is a good look. I think he's going to be mount his P's and Q's and land the better shots and be active. He's talked a lot about being active in striking and not just being content and not throwing anything, which I like a lot for the significant strikes. More takedowns. I'd probably go Rodrigues, because I think he's the only one who's probably going to go for any sort of takedowns, but I don't even think he will get any. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. You can check me out at Champ Bets at BetMe.Tips. And, yeah, thank you again for watching. Very excited for next week's fight night. Cejudo versus Song Yadong. It's going to be another banger, so make sure to tune in to what I think for that, predictions-wise. And, yeah, thanks so much for watching. See ya.